Welcome to the Good Batch. We are the Good Batch. You got Pandabmikey,
Yeah, that's me. Hello.
and you got the Prophet God,
Yeah, hi.
or should I say the Sleepy God, and then you got me, Earth Descended. But we're here to talk about episode 6, the finale of Moon Knight.
Nice.
What do you guys
Season
think?
finale. I thoroughly enjoyed Moon Knight. I recommend it to any Marvel fan, and maybe even those who are on the fence for Marvel, because some people just don't like superhero stuff. I think it's a stellar story. It's easy to follow. Well, not easy to follow, but like easy to watch. Right? Like it keeps you entertained. Watch Moon Knight if you're on the fence. Watch it.
What do you think, Derek?
Yeah. Um, I think it's kind of weird the pacing of the story, I guess. I think a lot of their fears were true that 6 episodes is either too little or too much. It's not very like I don't know. It's not very like paced out well. Like characters just kind of show up or disappear. Very little is explained or resolved. But I think a lot of that they're trying to hope that it's chalked up to the kind of mysticalness of it all. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's worth it, and I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy it more than not enjoy it. So I think it's one of those that yeah, everybody should at least watch up to like the third episode.
I'd say up to at least the fifth episode, because the fifth episode was my favorite episode.
Well, I mean, like if you're watching the show and you don't like it by the third, don't bother. It's not gonna be your show.
That's fair. Um, yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I was thinking, because when I saw the runtime and it was short, I was like, oh, like they have a lot to do. That being said, I might sneeze, so forgive me. It's on the tip of my nose. Um,
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Uh, anyways, one thing that I thought during the finale was, and this is spoilers. So spoilers. Um, I feel like the whoever's writing this show was like, yeah, I'm gonna write this show. It's gonna be awesome and it's good. And I got Stephen Grant and I got Mark, and they're gonna be doing their thing, and like we're gonna see some awesome stuff. And rolled up to episode 5, right? And then Marvel comes in and like, okay, we have episode 6. Don't worry about it. It's like, but I have no, don't worry about it. We're just we're gonna do our formula. We're gonna throw in a big CGI fight. We're gonna have some superhero fight, and we can have you do like some of the little bits here and there. It's like, but I had a no, sorry, we're gonna do this. I see this time and time again. Is my point. Um, in superhero movies, that you have something so well established in the first act and the second act, and in the third act, they just kind of like go to the trope of, okay, like we're just gonna do this. It's the same thing we've always seen. I did like this. Don't misunderstand me. It was fun. I thought that they could have done something better. That's just me.
What did you want instead?
I wanted what you said after episode 5.
Okay.
I wanted that story. I thought that
Just
would have been
the
brilliant.
dream thing.
hmm
Okay.
Um, as tropey as that is, like it was written so well that it literally blew my mind. And I'm like, it made me reflect on my own life, and I'm like, is this real? What is real? Do I have my own Stevens? Not literally. I don't have other personalities, but like, do I go to different places in my mind for certain things? And just like watching all of that, I really liked episode 5. And to kind of echo like what Mikey said, anyone should watch this show and they would enjoy it, I think. Because there's not really anything in the show that really establishes this as a Marvel franchise superhero, other than like, oh, there was the blip and maybe some Easter eggs. I don't know. But like this easily could have been DC. Like someone that's not a huge superhero fan going into this, um, not knowing the difference between DC and Marvel, would have been like, I don't know which one it is, but it was fun. It was enjoyable. got an Egyptian, dude. Even though he's not Egyptian, but you know what I mean. And yeah, it was fun. Excuse me. But yeah, she was fun. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Why don't you talk?
To kind of like piggyback off of your point of it being like CGI monster fight at the end. Yeah, that was a bit disappointing because I was like, oh, it's really just gonna be this, huh? And that's what I was saying at the beginning of the episode. But every mediocre, like you say, meddling of the studio, it didn't feel like punches to the gut like they usually feel. Like this actually felt well done. Like if this is meddling from the studio, it's like, all right, like I would have liked maybe 2 more episodes or whatever, but all right, this was a pretty solid and I think like thirst quenching. I don't know if that's a correct word, but I'm using it. Thirst quenching series when all is said and done, and then also the dream thing. They kind of did do that a little bit.
Yeah, let's break that down. We can go more into that for sure because I do want to talk more about that in detail.
Yeah.
But what about you, Mikey?
Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of expected it, right? Like at the end of the day, this is still a superhero show. So, them following the superhero tropes, I guess, could be disappointing. Excuse me. But overall, I like the cliffhanger, but I hate the real world problems that come with the cliffhanger at the end of the series. Right? Like, hopefully we figure, not we, but like Oscar Isaac figures out whether or not he wants to come back and be Moon Knight. I don't know how else they're going to reprise the role, but they could just go with I don't know. It's Disney. They'll figure it out. I think this will make plenty enough money as far as keeping subscriptions and people interested.
One other thing that I wanted to talk about too is the battle between Amet and
Khonshu?
Khonshu. Yeah. Excuse me.
Are
are they supposed to be visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, where's the Egyptian military?
They're I don't know. The world has. I feel like the world.
Where's the Avengers?
Kind of given up. They're just like there's aliens. There people blip. Like we're just done.
Celestials showing up in the sky. Like just
people.
The nice guy doing mystical things. Like yeah. I feel like after the blip, wouldn't you just be like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna go take care of that. We'll let the Avengers take care of it. Like if you were a cop.
Oh yeah.
Like what do you stand? What chance do you stand against the giant death bird and crocodile lady?
I didn't see your movie. 0 out of 10.
Every single one of the people shown in like like Eternals, like the past few properties, something crazy big happens, and everyone just goes, "Oh,
cool,
well, okay."
It's like weather at this point.
Yeah. So like, I don't really even think about like the larger MCU. This show was like so far removed, so it's like I didn't have to think about the larger MCU all that much, which is nice. Like, there's no Nexus event in this series that we usually like get. Like in Loki, there was a Nexus event. In WandaVision, there was a Nexus event. So, like No Way Home, there was a Nexus event.
Speaking of Loki, I think I like Loki better than this show, just because of how this show ended. Versus Loki, like I don't know, I really enjoyed Loki, but that's just me.
Sure. Yeah.
Another thing too that kind of breaking down. Are you guys kind of surprised? I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we didn't see anyone from the Marvel franchise in this show. Did that shock you guys as well?
No.
Nah, yeah, I kind of got the hint that it was its own property, standalone. That he wasn't going to need anyone to set him up.
Not even set him up. I'm just saying like show up at all, whether it have been like a end scene credit or something. Like there is no one affiliated with Marvel in these movies, other than these new characters. That shocked me. I can't recall the first or the last movie that didn't have someone show up.
Sure. I mean, honestly, I think that just speaks to the strength of this specific
show.
series.
Was this show filmed during COVID?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done the research as far as that goes. I would imagine. Well, I mean,
Maybe
we're
on
still
the
in
tail end of
COVID,
it.
right?
Yeah, maybe on the tail end of it, but I mean, there were plenty of scenes with lots of people in it. So
But yeah, it was a fun series, at least for me. I really enjoyed Oscar Isaac's performance. I think without his performance, the show would have been just whatever. But it was really the scenes between Mark and Steven that really carried this franchise for me. Um, I don't think that this show, like, if you don't get the right actor for that role, this show could have been something really, really good, or really, really special in the sense of what did I just watch? But as like the CGI goes and stuff like that, I thought Ahmet was cool. She was cooler than I thought she would be. I enjoyed seeing that. No, you guys know, like, I love mythology. I love that kind of stuff, and I wanted more. Wanted, like, other gods and stuff to kind of show up, but no, this was cool. It leaves the door open too, and I don't think we'll ever see Anubis. Makes me sad. But we did see the Hippo lady. I forgot the Hippo lady's name. She's cool.
Tawaret? Something wet. But to branch off of that, I actually respect it a lot, because with Thor and his storyline, like, I feel they rely heavily on the well-known Norse gods, where they're using not very well-known Egyptian gods, bringing light. Like they could have done Ra, Anubis, Set, right? They could have done that.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see the not so well-known Egyptian gods, in my opinion. I respect it. I mean, it would have been cool.
Which is only like it really only feels like a Western like interpretation of this. The book I'm reading is pretty clear that Tara is one of the big main death gods. They worship her pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like speaking on that too, because I've been looking at some Egyptian mythology myself. And apparently, like, a lot of the gods that I'm even familiar with are kind of the same god too. So it's hard to say.
Yeah,
because who's who, but they did have Osiris, and like I would have loved to see some sort of depiction of him in this show, even if
he sucked. They all sucked.
I don't know where they went.
Amit sucked. Khonshu sucks. They're all assholes, except for maybe at the very, very, very end. Did I go? All right, Contra, I kind of like you, but the whole series, I was like, you suck, Amit sucks. Y'all why don't you just go away and let the humans take over? Y'all are like, just stop. And then this episode, they just get murked.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and we didn't really see anything happen again with that love god lady.
Oh, yeah.
Avatar, like, she just kind of was just thrown in there, I guess. I don't know. Maybe deleted scenes. I don't know. That felt a little weird. Because she literally sent him on a fetch quest.
I think it's a little cheap that they cut away. Like, oh, we're going to do some magic battling. And then they just cut away to Layla going, oh, horrible things are happening off screen.
Yeah, oh, look at that. If you could only see the horror. I didn't quite grasp why the council gods got just owned. Is that just supposed to be like Amit is super powerful, so they couldn't like perform in their chamber? But it made no sense to me.
Yeah, I wish they would have set it up a little bit more, but I would assume it's kind of like American gods, where the more belief you have in that specific god, the more powerful that god is.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the feeling I got too.
Yeah, you see her like eat souls, purple souls, when he uses the staff. So
yeah, like she only ate like 100 souls, and she got huge like a Megazord. I was like, okay, this is Earth, where billions of people are horrible, horrible people. At least over half of them. So let's say 4. Well, he's just big.
Yeah. Moon Knight judges
Don't use
souls
logic.
too, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing about this show. Like, it had a really good way of disarming me. Like, it turned off my logic brain quite a bit, which is really difficult to do. I went, yeah, I don't care. I don't care that it makes no goddamn sense. Like Steven and Mark switching in the middle of a fight, instantly switching their suits. Like, to me is weird. Why would you do that strategically? Doesn't make any sense. But whatever, because it's Moon Knight and it's awesome as fuck. So I don't really much care.
Yeah. I did get.
Episode was so good, wasn't it?
I did get a heavy Power Ranger vibe when it was Khonshu versus Ahmed. Yeah, it was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like, you know what? This should be weird and hokey, but okay. All right, it works for these two.
I'll have to go back and rewatch. I don't know if there's like epic battle music, but they could have just. I don't know if Disney owns Power Ranger yet, but I would have giggled.
I think Hasbro owns them, right?
I don't know who owns Power Rangers.
Not sure.
Oh, I forget the company.
CW?
I don't remember it. It's kind of like Hasbro, but it's I thought it was a Japanese company.
Oh, yeah. I know there's a Japanese version of Power Rangers.
Ultraman.
Kami
right?
Tokami.
Yeah. Oh, Konami?
Who
Konami?
owns- Yeah,
Konami owns them.
Power Rangers.
Ding,
Oh, it does
ding.
say Hasbro. So yeah, I'd say Hasbro.
Yeah. It feels like a
Oh,
Transformer.
I was thinking Saban Entertainment.
Saban, yeah. Has their little mask as an emblem, yeah.
Yes. I don't remember. I don't know. I googled it and it had words, not pictures.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so I haven't watched any reviews or any like breakdowns of this. I don't know if you guys have, but this you know asylum scenes that they keep going back to,
Mhm.
was that all just in Arthur's head then?
So again, like it's like when you try to apply a logical device to the idea of those specific scenes in this show, you're not going to come out with a good response. It's like putting in a bad code to a calculator. It's like calculators can do amazingly great things if you know how to use them. So it's like in this situation, I never use really crazy good sound logic, right? So in Mark and Steven's case, when they were dying, that's what they saw, because that was them having to find themselves or
Interpretation.
whatever. Yeah, they were. Their mind was broken. There were two entities in one body, and it was just discontent with it oneself, right? So that was kind of their little mind prison. And at the end of the episode, they break through it, almost like seeing through the Matrix. They go, "Wait, no, I know what's real, and
Wait,
it's
as
not
gay
this." Sorry, what?
Okay, those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he was like, okay, this isn't real. I know what's real, and depending upon if this is real or that place is real, I'm choosing that world. So his mind now is one better, faster, stronger, more updated than Harrow's, is able to escape to the real world. I still don't know which is real, which is really cool, because I
Yeah.
would assume that the real world is like Arthur Harrow and all that crazy stuff. But still, like, the show did a really good job of making it go, but who knows? That you could just be in a psychiatric hospital. I was concerned. Can I say why I was concerned real quick?
Yeah.
When they killed all the gods and they're like, we need more avatars, I went, oh fuck, this is stupid TV shit, where here comes the annoying blonde lady, here comes his date for the steak, like here comes all the other characters that were in the psychiatric hospital, and now they're all gonna be god avatars because Layla and Mark like have to think of them and then they just appear or whatever. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I was so thankful that they did not do that stupid thing. That would have been dumb.
Yeah, I don't think I would have liked that either.
Yep.
Does it always feel like Marvel likes to rush the last act in these like these one-off, like not one-offs, but the individual movies, shows? Loki didn't feel
Oh,
that way.
shit.
I felt like WandaVision could
I
have had another episode.
definitely Moon Knight could have. I don't know if they have like a tendency to rush the ending though, like to rush the wrap up of the story, especially since like Endgame and Infinity War was a 10-year project.
Well, they
So
probably are filming so much, like compared to the first act and second act. They're probably filming so much in the third act that it feels like they have so much, and then editing just makes it what it is.
could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was there all along, though. When do we talk about Mark? When do we talk about Steven? When do we talk about Jake? It was always there in the photo I have on our stream. Jake's there.
Yeah.
Jake is there. I would like to go back and like, because there's not any like aha moment of like me thinking if I go back to this episode I'm gonna see Jake. I don't think I will.
I don't think they
Unless-
they did, right? Like they'd have that
Unless
transforming
he's, like, in-
sound, you know what I mean? Where it's like
Yeah.
and so they don't really
Blackout
show
sound.
Jake. Uh-huh.
I still
Maybe in
maintain.
reflections.
I no, yeah, yeah. I would argue that like the triple reflections in multiple of the first episode is a pretty big clue. Although here's based on my interpretation of the ending, Khonshu is working mostly through Jake,
Hmm.
right? So it's Jake is the one like getting his goldfish. Jake is the one asking people out to steak dinners, right?
It's
not
Jake
Mark.
is that specific person, not Mark. Because Mark doesn't know how much time he's losing, and he goes, "Steven, your life is bleeding between me and you." Because Mark thinks he only created Steven to escape from his parent abuse. But then
do you think he's in
Steven
Jake
must
the
have
most?
created Jake because Steven also didn't know anything about the abuse. He, I think, only suffered with the emotional abuse. That's why he's so overly nice, overly protective, overly like shy and reserved. That's what makes him different from Mark. But to avoid the physical abuse, he created an altar, and Jake took the physical abuse. That would be my guess.
So I actually thought that Mark created Jake, and Jake is the ruthless. Like that's why he was in Egypt to begin with, and
I would say
you
no
know,
only because he doesn't
executing
know who he
people.
is. He knows Steven.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna say that both of them are aloof to Jake's existence. Otherwise, it would I believe they would have brought him up, right? I mean, they kind of did when they're saying like, "Was that you?" No, it's not me. So I think they're aware something else could be there, but I don't think they know specifically, or they created Jake specifically, right?
What language
Is
did
what I'm
he
trying to
speak in?
say. Spanish, I thought, or
Spanish?
it might be Portuguese.
Yeah, it's Spanish.
Yeah, because he tells the lady to calm down, tranquila, right? Is that what he said?
Yeah, Tranquila, Tranquilla, or no, Tranquil. I can't say it right now. What's wrong with me? I know Spanish.
It's Tranquilo.
Tranquilo. Not That's
Yeah.
what was throwing me off was
No.
the A. Tranquilo means tranquil.
Yeah, I just
Being
assume
calm.
that I like for instance that whole first episode. We assume that it's like Mark doing all
Uh-huh.
that crazy cool badass shit, but now in my head I go, no, that was
Mhm.
Jake. Because Mark wouldn't be that badass. Mark's not that badass, but Jake seems pretty freaking badass. So I could see Jake doing that crazy car chase and not, getting murdered or killed or dead. Or sorry, I could see Jake doing that, but I couldn't really see Mark pulling that off.
But isn't it Mark that's asking for Steven to give the body back to him? In
I
that
think that's
entire
only
episode?
I think no, that's the second episode. We don't really see Mark.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
it
Because
just
until the
cuts,
bathroom
right?
scene, huh? Yeah.
So like if the one specific scene, like I think the car chase, there's some merit there that's not Mark either. I think a lot of this is Jake. Is whenever he's brutal, he just domes people in the head. There's blood all over. He killed a woman, like in that first episode.
Yeah,
Like the
the
bakery guy
kid.
runs out.
The
Yeah,
kid on
like
the
all of that
rooftop.
stuff. Like yeah, exactly. Like all of that stuff. He's pretty ruthless. So it's like okay, if we just go back and every time they flash out like that, oh okay, that's most likely Jake doing the ass whooping. Unless you see Moon Knight actually fighting like Midnight Man or whatever. That's Mark. But
So that's why
Right.
I actually thought that Jake was a creation of Mark, because they talk about it, him kind of being a bad dude in episode 2 and executing people. Maybe that, like, when he went full military, full, I think even in the comics he was like CIA or something. Like, he had to become this person. He had to become like this Jason Bourne kind of guy. And maybe Jake was in control most of the time. And then, like, that time where, he did get shot up, and he became the Moon Knight, that was because, his morals. Like, Mark is the moral guy. Steven is safe place. And
I would
then
say
Jake
Steven's
is
the
his.
moral guy.
Well, what I
Mark
mean
is
by
the
moral
main.
is he's going back and forth between morality.
The original.
His scales
Oh.
are not balanced. So, like, that's his whole thing is
Even she
he is
didn't
not
give
a
a fuck
balanced
about that.
person.
What a stupid rule.
Yeah.
Even what?
Could you imagine? Yeah, could you imagine, like, I don't know, any other god coming down? Like, let's say, like Ares is a god of war, right?
Uh-huh.
Could you imagine him coming down and going, "Wow, you resurrected me, but you love peace. Nah, you're okay. Yeah, I like you. Let's have you as my avatar. You're just gonna cast aside thousands or maybe even millennia of, like, rules that you codified, and it made you who you are, and now you're just done with that because somebody wronged you? Really? Okay. All right, sure. I guess then I don't really know what the Egyptian god. Like, I'm the god of love. No. I guess you're the god of whatever you want to
Are
be
you?
now.
Yeah.
They're getting real progressive in the god world.
Does no one care about the rules?
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? I don't know. I thought it was a really good show. Just solid all around. Acting, directing, like the photography stuff, the nods to former movies, even the Megazord Power Ranger fight at the
Yes.
end, which shouldn't have been good, but it was pretty solid. Like, it's like, okay, all right, I'm thoroughly satisfied with
And it's
this. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd also add on to it, like, its ability to keep you hooked, right? Like, I think they did cliffhangers pretty well in this series. Even ending off on one. Like, I would...
Yeah.
You know what? I actually didn't like the ending at all. I didn't like how it cut so fast. I liked the end credits. Like, that made me feel a lot
So,
better.
yeah, be specific, like ending as in the ending of him falling on his face.
Yeah, and then he's just like,
Okay.
oh, what? And then it just ends. It's like, that's a weird way to end it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, all right, I'm sticking through the credits because you don't end this show like that.
Well, I was an idiot and I forgot. And I did. I mean, I was sitting there. No, I watched them. I saw them, but, like, initially my brain's didn't
Right.
go to, oh, we have credits. No, I was just like, that's how they're gonna end it? Isn't that dumb? And then before, I turned it off, which I was glad I didn't. I'm like, oh wait, there are credits, huh? Let's see what we got. So yeah, I really that end credit scene was pretty fun. Arthur in an insane asylum, which so is Amat still in him?
Yeah,
he's alive, so...
They trapped Amat in a physical form, kind of like a physical
So
Ushanti.
he has her inside
Prison.
him.
Should.
Yep.
Because Conchi
Yeah,
was saying that Mark needed to kill Arthur in order to eradicate both.
She was cool. She was more crocodile than anything, but she was cool. I liked her. I liked her little crocodile predator weave thing.
Yeah, her design was really... Like, the design in the entire series was really good. Like, Khonshu's, it's unique, right? Like, it's not a run-of-the-mill CGI monster. Like the Qatari or whatever they were. All of Avengers 1 monsters. Like, I couldn't tell you what they looked like. But I tell you what Khonshu looked like.
Even CGI Ethan Hawke, like, even him just fighting with the staff, I was like, all right, this is some cool shit that you should not be able to do. You should be, like, CGI monstered, right? Like, you should be like, I'm gonna use green superpower and turn to Ivan Ooze and start fighting people. But no, like, he just had the cane, and he turned into an axe, which was really cool. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about Wonder Woman. Oh, sorry,
Oh
Layla.
my god, she's way better than Wonder Woman. Fucking fire Gal Gadot and get her in there.
Yeah.
She was that was more Wonder Woman than both Wonder Woman movies I've seen.
Turned into was.
Yeah, she did.
Got them golden wings.
Isis.
Yeah. So I
Well, there
guess
has
she's a
to be
comic
other.
book character, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But what all these other avatars? They're like Osiris. Like, okay.
Yeah, why don't they
what
have...
was- they suck. Their
Yeah,
powers
yeah,
suck.
because those gods suck. They're boring.
So why was Layla so strong?
Because Tara doesn't suck.
But no one worships her.
Well, she's just even though it's like no one is alive in the world anymore, and she still stops at stop signs. That's how fucking devoted she is. It's wonderful. I love her as a god. But all of the other ones are like, here, human, you're my avatar. I'm just gonna sit around, I guess. Oh, there's credible evidence against us that are one of our greatest foes that we so crazy bad that it might come out. Due to this guy who's obviously evil. We're not gonna look into that at all.
Nah, yeah. We hate Khonshu.
Like I was down with it if they were like, fuck those humans because they don't worship us anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they were gonna join on it and they were gonna punish them because of their lack of worship. But no, they didn't even do that. Like the whole gods thing was just really annoying because it's like I mean, I don't. You guys are weak. You're feckless. Whatever. Just get rid of them. Gods aren't very powerful. I feel like that point in Supernatural where I don't really care anymore what they are. It's like, all right, well, Iron Man's gonna kill you in 2 movies or whatever Iron Man's whatever that word is. Derivative is gonna kill you in a couple movies from now. So I don't really care. Like alien, god, entity, machine,
Celestial.
cyborg, doesn't matter. Yeah, celestial. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I know that the good guys are gonna win.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
But they will. All
Yeah.
along.
We'll have to see.
Always.
Hopefully.
Maybe Doctor Strange will change it up.
Maybe. I don't know, but I did like Layla. I liked Layla in this episode a lot. Like, this is the episode that really went, you know what? I would be okay watching you in your badass suit doing some badass shit.
There was a hokey line, but I'm trying to remember. It was when she was behind the car and she like saved some civilians, and then the civilians have like.
It's
Oh yeah,
it's-
are you an
it's
Egyptian
far away.
hero?
yeah, yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's like, yes, you will see me in 3 years with my own spin-off show. But it's also, yeah, she's Taret's avatar at the moment, goddess of women and children and all that shit. So it's like, okay, I get it, cool.
I don't know. To me, those lines come across as like the audience is dumb. Make sure they understand. Write it in.
Well,
But
I didn't get it that way. I got it more like, hey, Egyptian people, here's your superhero.
Yeah,
Like, here's your mom.
because in the MCU, I guess Red Scarab is the name of that character. Like in the comic books, right? I guess Red Scarab is that character, but her neutral, like she's not neutral. She's pretty like evil, I guess, or he is evil. I don't know. They've switched this character up quite a bit,
times.
and I actually like it because it's like, okay, cool, yeah, give the Egyptian people a superhero. I don't think they have a superhero. Give them a
Right.
superhero.
Yeah, it was the same delivery that I got from, who was it? Is it Jamie Foxx saying, "I thought you were black"? To
Oh
Spider-Man?
yeah,
It's the same
yeah, very
concept
meta.
that I
yeah.
kind of got there of like, oh yeah, they're paying homage to the African American culture, knowing that like a lot of people like Miles Morales. He's really cool. Like, oh, I see what they did there. It was I like to call that the Leonardo DiCaprio moment of him pointing at the TV.
Yep.
You know, like there it
Is what it
is.
is.
There it is. So yeah, now we
It's
have an Egyptian one. What culture do we get next? Just curious. Any thoughts?
Irish.
Who needs one? Do we need a Ukrainian?
Celestials.
Proper.
Not
Oh,
right.
sorry, never mind. We've got that one dude. We've got the Black Knight guy. Blackwatch.
Kit Harington's character.
Yeah. Well, isn't he Irish?
I don't know, because I don't know anything. I'm excited for this next phase because I don't know a lot about all the superheroes they're introducing.
Yeah.
Is he Irish or is Scottish? What
Ah,
is he?
He's
I
from
don't
the
think he's
UK.
Scottish.
Welsh?
Yeah, I don't know. They all
One of
sound the same.
They all sound the same.
I don't agree.
Bad teeth.
Gosh.
Fucking what, mate?
Wouldn't it be funny if he turned into Steven and his teeth was- Anyways, yeah. No. Look what you've done. What have you done? Oh,
You did
I didn't
this.
mean that.
The overall score for Moon Knight's an 85 out of 100. It's pretty solid. Go watch it. Maybe
What about
that
this
third
episode? What about this episode, though?
8.9.
Okay, and then you give the overall an 85.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mikey, what do you think? Episode? What do you
Yeah. I think this episode kind of. I don't know. Yeah, I say it's a solid 8. Like overall, this episode and the series is a solid 8. I
Okay,
liked it.
I would say this episode was like a 6, maybe a 7, but the series, I would agree, is an 8. It was very, very good. Could have been a 9, could have been a 10. That episode 5, I don't know, maybe it just spoke to me more, but that episode 5 was very special. And
Yeah, that was my favorite episode by far.
yeah, it's wow. We need more like it. I would have really liked them to see them going down that path more, but that's okay. Maybe we'll get some more Jake Lockley. Now here's the over under.
He's hoping.
Do we see Oscar Isaac again? Do we see Moon Knight in the MCU, or is he just gonna be his own thing?
Wait and find out. I would assume
say
that.
time will tell.
Yeah, I would assume that this was kind of too big to fail. Like they'll get him back.
Yeah. If he can do 3 of the Star Wars movies, I think they'll be okay to get him for either another season or into a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also being selfish too because it's like I do not want to see, as much as the character was fine in Shang-Chi, I don't want to see Awkwafina in like any Marvel property. Like I don't want to see her like as her character. It's nothing personal. It's just like,
didn't mind
okay, I've
her.
had enough of you. Whereas Layla is like, okay, Layla, no, you can come in. You're cool. Come on in. Yeah, you're a badass. You come in. But I don't know. Awkwafina's character, I don't even remember her name. She's just Shang-Chi's girlfriend, maybe. So
Side friend.
yeah. So it's like
Not like
I would
Katie.
rather see Oscar Isaac come
Katie.
in with Layla than Awkwafina or any other side character we've been introduced.
Okay.
I'm still
But
waiting for him
you
to tie
guys-
in the Eternals. Like,
Oh, me
Anyway.
too. Doctor Strange, please. It's time. Do you predict that Moon Knight is going to be main MCU, or is he just going to be TV show?
oh. Well, the TV shows are. You mean like, is he gonna be in movies?
Do you see him, running around with
Absolutely.
who's relevant right now? I guess Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. Who else is alive still?
Yeah, I think so because this might be stretching, but Celestials are kind of like a godlike aspect of creating universes and the destruction of universes, where Moon Knight deals with gods. So I can very easily see them pulling him in.
I think if
And
they did more. Go ahead.
I was say, and the Eternals, like that's what the Eternals revolve around, is them being gods themselves. So I could see him being pulled in for the next Nexus event, needing Moon Knight's help and whoever is associated with Moon Knight, be it gods or
Why
humans.
would he get involved? Is the question.
Because he has a literal god helping him, right? That's what I'm getting at. It's like
So
Celestials
you
are
were saying
huge.
Jake Lockley?
All the above, all 3. More so Khonshu, but yes,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Jake and Steven and Mark are all revolve around a god. That's what I'm getting at.
I
So,
would
yes.
like. I would like to see season 2 of Moon Knight. I want to see the resolution of him now having to deal with himself as being a pretty bad guy, because Jake Lockley is clearly a pretty bad guy, just straight up murdering nurses and whatnot. And it's like, all right, he just doesn't give a fuck. Cool, this is like Khonshu's real guy. It's like his preferred. So I would love to see that conflict. I think there's a lot that they could write, especially with the writers of 4th and 5th episodes of this series.
Mhm.
It's like, let's get you back. Whoever did that excellent stuff, Let's get you back for some more stuff. Let's get the God of Rage from the Egyptian, whatever that might be, and let's write a few more things in terms of this DID. I'm not done with that, exploring that yet. I want to see more of it. I would rather see it in a TV show than an MCU movie, because if it's in an MCU movie, they'll pair him
Rush.
up with like Spider-Man, and it'll be very like watered down, and it has to like conform to the MCU movie rules. I liked that this was confined and away from everything. I liked that nobody showed up, because then I don't have to put those MCU movie logic rules on it. If they do connect it though to the overall MCU in the future, instead of just keeping it its own thing, I would expect them to probably do like Black Panther type stuff. You want to really sell the new Black Panther, team him up with Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, you know, because like the whole Bast thing and the Bastet connection or whatever it's there, and I could see him going down to Africa or whatever and trying to deal with Bushmen or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're next door neighbors, right?
Yeah,
Egypt and Africa, well, Wakanda.
Yeah, from what I understand, at least. So it's like, okay, cool. All right, I would like to see that. I want to see that continuance. But if he's in the next Spider-Man movie and he's helping defend against Kraven the Hunter or some shit, and he's having a goofy, haha comedy MCU movie with Spider-Man, all right, I'd take that too. Honestly, just more Moon Knight would be fine.
Okay. There's something else I wanted to mention.
Well, do you think so?
Oh yeah,
you haven't answered that
with
question
Jake
yet.
Lockley killing the nurse lady. How's Khonshu? I don't understand Khonshu now, because like if Jake
Asshole.
Lockley's his guy, but like Khonshu is so depicted to like, oh, I only punish those who have already done.
None of those gods care
Right.
anymore. They don't follow their own rules anymore. None of them.
Okay.
These are 21st century gods, where they're like so unbelieved that they just go, yeah, whatever. That person's fucking up. All right, let's shanti them as well. Like they've gotten rid of their own gods to the point, like it's weird. It's like the snake eating its own tail. Like all of those gods are useless. Amit, Khonshu's an asshole. I've always said he's an asshole. Now I just think he's a really cool asshole.
Okay. So is Khonshu more of a bad guy?
He serves his own purpose.
Yeah, he does his own thing, right? So I don't think it's
But
evil
isn't
for
that
him.
what bad guys
But
do?
No, I think he's more like a vigilante on the sense, because he still was like fighting Amit. He was still trying to stop her from her purpose, which is judging people before they commit the crime, and he's still trying to stand up for people who haven't committed crimes yet. So I think that's a like moral good quality. I don't think
it's more,
he's.
yeah.
I don't think he's 100% evil. I also don't think he's 100% good. Right?
Yeah. It's just it's just wrestling logic. Someone plays the heel in every storyline. If they do a season 2 and Jake and Khonshu are like the inner bad guys, this season it was Mark. Mark was the inner bad guy. His arc was turning into being a good guy and becoming one with Steven. That was the arc. I can see that happening with Khonshu and Jake, where it's like Steven and Mark are like, whoa, no, we're not doing that. Like if they become aware of Jake's movements and things, like that's going to be a really fun thing to write. And when you write it in storyline perspective, someone's a good guy, someone's a bad guy. In that specific small story arc, Khonshu would be the bad guy. That's what I mean by that. I'm not meaning like he's like Thanos. I mean he's like in that story arc, he is the bad guy, and he's been the bad guy on that side of things the whole time. Oh, I thought the kid would talk. Oh well, like he just doesn't give a fuck about anybody, and it's like okay, whatever, Khonshu. I know there's a heart somewhere in that dusty old bird-boned body.
I wonder if he was more fleshed out at one point too, because Matt said something like time hasn't been nice to you.
I don't think,
Yeah, he's a
again,
bird-boned
I'm
guy.
not allowed. I won't allow my brain to put real-world logic on this show.
Because there is a lot you have to use your imagination for.
That's fair. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Reiterate, go watch Moon Knight. I think you'll enjoy it. Whether you're a diehard MCU fan or just, you like superheroes or you want a cool story, like...
Or if you want good acting.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
if you're a fan of media, check it out.
Derek?
No complaints. Nothing really weak about this show. But nothing super amazingly good and awesome because I do think at the end there they kind of went the
They go back.
typical superhero route, and it was like, oh, okay. They didn't go bold enough. It's like I appreciate shows that go boom, this is our vision, accept it or don't. But I understand why it's Disney, just cranking out entertainment, So I get it. It's good, solid, 85 out of 100. Go watch it.
Yeah, I agree with all you guys said. It's a solid show. Better than most, but not the best. But that's episode 5 will always be an episode I'll go back to and reflect, and I want to go back and rewatch that episode. Yeah. Other than that, Moon Knight was fun.